Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video as we return from the highs and the euphoria of Thursday night's win over Celtic with maybe the most predictable result and performance you could ever come to imagine, as Rangers went from a high on a Thursday and played bad on a Sunday. Where have we seen that before? Oh aye! All season long. But again, as predictable as this result ended up being and the performance did fall away, I'll be honest with you, despite firing out my preview video yesterday and talking about my worries and my fears coming in to this game, because there was a hell of enough evidence to suggest this could be potentially a sucker punch versus Hibs, we needed to learn a lesson. We needed to stay on the front foot to put these Scottish teams away. After 20 minutes of football the day at Easter Road, I sat back and went, by God, I've bricked my knickknacks for no reason. This team is absolutely rampant, attack-minded, and just destroying Hibs completely. Honestly, we were ripping them to shreds. The crowd was losing their mind. The players looked frustrated. They weren't getting a second on the ball. Lennon Miller looked like a Rangers player the amount of times they passed the ball to the opposition, right? We were really after them, and it was so hungry, it was so attack-minded, and the work rate was there. But then, like this, it all changed, and it was us that made the change. It wasn't Hibs getting back in it. There's quite a clear, distinct change in where the players were positioning and what we decided today after going 2-0 up than what we were doing when it was only 1-0 and obviously before we scored the first goal. And that's what's in my head today, because being bad defensively for set pieces and conceding goals here, there and everywhere is kind of the norm, right? We know where we are. It's fun to beat Celtic and everything, but we know where we are as a team. That's why I didn't get lost after beating Celtic. I never even talked about league titles. I rubbished that in the recap video. I rubbished that to the side. I didn't want to worry about this and this. I just wanted to see us win a couple games in a row, because I know where we are, I know what we're good at, and I know what our glaring weaknesses are. Unfortunately, a lot of our weaknesses are the strengths in 99.9% of the teams in this league, right? So I just wanted to see us get back to winning ways, and for the first 20 minutes I thought that was absolutely sensational. But then it all changed, and that's what's on my mind right now. Whose decision was it to stop and start to sit back, to start dropping 5-10 yards out? Because it's clear as they go back and watch the game, the average position of the players before it was 2-0, then after 2-0, not even when it was 2-1 or ever. Just look at it exactly from Hibs' kickoff. We started to allow Miller to get in the ball. We started to allow Rocky Bashiri, who was all over the place for the first 90% of the game until he scored. Maybe the most Rocky Bashiri thing I've ever seen. We started to allow them possession. It got the crowd doing a little bit. Started to allow them to win some free kicks, starting to put balls in the box and start calling a wee bit nerves to the back line, which again feeds their crowd, gets them up, and more importantly scares our players that are defensively absolutely rotten. I can't help but keep going back to that same moment in the same game air and air again, because I want to know whose decision was that. Was it the players on the park that said, right, this game's done, let's sit back now and ease this game out? Or is that coming directly from the gaffer to try and seize more of the possession? I think it might be the latter, and that might be a little bit too harsh to Clement, but I'm looking at the fresh players that was playing here. That's a new captain, new vice captain, and a lot of these players again came back from the shadow realm, right? So it's not been the players we've seen Date versus Dundee United, St Mirren, Motherwell, all the exact same frustrations. It's no the same players, but it's the exact same action and the exact same shape that seemingly drops off. So it must be getting coached into them, or I've got a lot of problems with a lot of the mentality of the players. But that's my frustration right there, ladies and gentlemen. This game was there for us at 2-0, but we decided as a team to sit back and allow this Hibs side room to get back in it. And I just feel like that was absolutely stinking attitude, and that ruthless go for the throat mentality we used to have as a team simply isn't there today. That's what came back to bite us in the arse. We're just toothless in these games. We try to play it too safe, and we just simply can't do it. For me, the frustrations on the manager and the players today, it was there for us. We simply, in my opinion, threw it away. And that mentality issue and that switch we seemingly have in the games to start sitting off oppositions rather than keeping them pinned in and keeping to the attacking mentality has haunted us all season long, especially away from home, where we seemingly think games are over when they're never actually over. Have a look on the left hand side, or my left hand side, which will probably be right when the camera is flipped round. That is our home form, right? Obviously that's before Celtic plays their next home game and everything like that, so they'll probably be joint points with us in that aspect. But home form, no complaints for me. Good goal to game ratio, points are pretty good as well, and you can't ask for much more. Let's look, before coming into this game, what our away form looks like. We were 6th in The actual look at the goals scored, look at the goals conceded, look at the goals difference. That is shambolic. That shouldn't be anywhere near a Rangers team. No disrespect to the likes of the Motherwells or even the likes of Hibs. That's where you're probably expecting them to be round about that spot, given with the resources they've got and given the way they play football. That's what you're expecting. Not for what we're paying players and the ridiculous wages we have gone out. But again, we got a big point today, so it moves us up to a big whopping third in that table. But it's nowhere near good enough. And for me, the stark difference in how we can play at home and how we can be playing away really summarises my feelings regarding the building of the squad and the way this squad has been moulded. And I've complained and moaned about this a lot, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But these away days, these away games, especially against the teams in Scottish football, you need big laddies that can get up and head of the ball. You need the tough guys that can get there and hang in the air in the moment and get up there. And you need guys that are willing to just throw their body on the line in terms of their defensive attitude. And we simply don't have that. We have built a team to play in European football because we rely so much on European money. We have prioritised playing in Europe and building a squad for that. So every single time we go to a tough away day, it is genuinely a lottery if this team is going to win. And because our most glaring weaknesses is the squad's too wee, it can't win anything in the air, and we're dreadful at defending set pieces, is again the exact strength of teams of Hibs, the Kilmarnocks, the Motherwells, the St Mirrens, the teams that's hurt us all season long. It's so glaringly obvious. I don't understand why anybody in the building at Rangers hasn't realised it. Now, the cold hard facts could be that they understand it, they just don't prioritise it because, again, Europe is where the money is made and that is where they go. Being successful, winning trophies and doing that isn't the main priority now of the people in and around the building. That might be the case, and that makes me sad if I think it, but at least it suggests that a couple people has that mentality. Because I want to just look at the defensive reinforcement style and the things we need to rely on in these away days that could be helping us. We've made zero movement in bringing in someone that can help in this area. The injury list is what it is, and I know a lot of people say, well, you wanted the same starting 11 at Stark versus Celtic. Yeah, they deserve it until someone else comes in, but I thought at least we'd be pretty busy and bring in somebody that can actually win a header. I can't mind the last centre-back sign that could header the football, if I'm being brutally honest with you, but I'm looking at it 5-6 days into a January transfer window and we've done nothing to improve the most glaring issue in our team, which again brings me a lot of questions about what the people staying in the building are actually thinking and looking at. Is this acceptable because we're doing alright in Europe? Are they not bothered about Scottish football? Is that what I'm getting? Because we signed Fabio, so we had a goddamn music video filmed by the 29th of December last year to announce Fabio Silva, a player we arguably didn't even need up to that point, especially when we signed the guys like, say, Oscar Cortes, and we spent the money in similar positions. We are badly crying out for defensive reinforcements and somebody that can help us on these away days that can win a header, and there's not a sniff or an ounce of anybody coming in. We can bring in a big Fabio Silva and do all the promotion here and get us some free publicity because he once was a big name in football, but we can't actually go and get that hard-nosed guy that can go and win a header. Something we've been crying out for damn years at this club. Again, I've just got so many issues about what we do and the stuff behind the scenes that it drives me absolutely mental. But as frustrated as I clearly am about what's going on and around this football club, I can't really take too much shine off the Hibs perspective. Again, for me, we gave them the lifeline, we handed them the space, we sat off them, we stopped winning those high balls, we stopped pressing as a midfield trio, we stopped pressing as a front four. But again, you can only give someone room and give them a lifeline. They've got to go ahead and take it, and Hibs certainly did that, bringing themselves back from 2-0 down, getting back from 3-2 down, showing the actual belief that they've got as a fan base. And again, arguably, by the time the full-time whistle went, probably feel like they should have won the game based on the chances they went ahead and created and the sheer havoc they created in terms of the set pieces. So aye, is that a fair result on paper? Aye, ladies and gentlemen. If not, we rode a luck towards the end of it. I know we hit the post, but so did they. There was a lot of worry in the game of football, and if you're looking at it from a neutral, was a free draw probably fair? Aye, it probably was, ladies and gentlemen. But me as a Rangers fan, I will continue to go back to that moment at 2-0 down and watch my team do that and just give Hibs space. I want to know whose decision that was. If it is the players, fair enough, they're simply not good enough. If it's the manager, he's not simply good enough either, and it's a familiar pattern of failure we've seen, especially away from him. We are not good defensively. The best defence is a good offence, as an old famous man once said, right? You've actually got to just keep attacking. That's what got us in the lead. As soon as we start to slow the game down and try to drag it down, it's just absolutely embarrassing, and it's still no clicked for Clement. We cannot play that way. We have to play attacking football. But aye, ladies and gentlemen, it did finish 3-3. There is a hell of a lot of frustration, but there is also some positive as well. And despite all my annoyances, quite clearly, you can see in the video, Igamane, that is a laddie that went ahead and scored a perfect hat-trick of the day. That's a guy that created a lot of the chances for himself, and that's a guy that nearly dragged us through the shitter in the 90th minute, taking a centre-back for a walk, wearing him like a school bag and taking the ball 50 yards before hitting the post. That is a young laddie that, again, was out in the cold, that's had to wait his opportunity time and time again while someone was picked, preferred and played over him, that thrown points away. This is a laddie that's only came into the starting 11 and done his job and showed his quality, and the fact that he scored a perfect hat-trick today will be lost in all the annoyance and frustrations, but it won't be lost on me, right? My team isn't good enough, but that laddie right there is, and Czerny is a good player in that as well, so I didn't want to lose that despite the madness at the back in the goals. We can see it's taking nothing away for Igamane. The kid is special, and thank God for him all. It's another loss and another embarrassment, and it gives you a wee bit of an incentive and gives you a reason to sit back and look where this club would actually be sitting if it wasn't for that young laddie's impact already, and pretty much his first senior season playing at this level, you know what I mean? It's a ridiculous football player, so I'm going to shout him out. He nearly dragged us out. I've not seen a player drag us like that since prime Morelos, and you know me, I'm no the big, I didn't idolise Alfredo Morelos. I think he was kind of overhyped, especially in the Old Firm games where he did let me down in some of the performances. I didn't idolise him the same way a lot of people actually do, but I can still recognise there was periods and large periods of that man's career we just punted balls to him and he dragged us over the line. I'm thinking of a goal versus Livingston. It was very similar to the way Igamane scored his first goal, taking a centre back for a walk, gone there and scoring. That is truly the first time I've seen a centre forward put an entire team on his back and try and drag him through a defensive disaster. So aye, full credit to the young laddie. The kid's special, and hopefully once we get a defence and build a team that can handle the physicality of Scottish football, the more that star will shine and be clear to everyone that, again, he's ridiculous. So aye, Igamane, you deserve all the praise. You're not going to get it because we're annoyed, but I thought he was absolutely fantastic. But let's get into the game recap then, shall we? Again, we started this game off fantastically, and when we were actually tuned in and playing attacking football, they couldn't deal with us. I mean, we had 3 shots in the opening 45 seconds of this game, which might not sound like a lot, but if you watch these Rangers away days, it's usually took us about 40, 50 minutes to get a shot. So seeing us start that way, you know, Hadji had a shot, we put a dangerous cross in just 60 seconds into the game, you're thinking, right, there is something really in there. We definitely did play and pick up where we left off from the Old Firm. There was chances created as well where Czerny gets on the ball, forces a good save for the keeper. You've then got the ball getting played out to our boy Hadji, who has a shot as well that's blocked. This is all just in the first couple of minutes. You're saying, right, here we actually go. And for once we did get the breakthrough. Our attacking play certainly deserved. Now, it did happen almost from a counter-attacking opportunity as Hibs get down the right-hand side. They get beyond Ridvan. They play a ball into the mixer. It's brilliantly intercepted from Raskin, or I think there might be a tap in here as Jeff's a little bit sleeping at the back post, but Raskin wins it and he just whacks it up the part. Just a long, old-fashioned long ball up the part. You've got Igamane versus Rocky Bashiri. It's all favouring the big centre-half who's had some mad moments against us, but also some very good ones. Probably a summary of him in this game as well. But Igamane just stays with him, puts pressure on him, doesn't he foul him, doesn't he do anything daft, doesn't he do what Dessler does and gets flung about and goes wanting a foul. Igamane actually stays into it, continues to nip at the heels, wins the shoulder barge, wins the ball back, plays a beautiful ball to Brahmi. Brahmi plays it out to Hadji. Hadji cuts it into the middle, and Igamane, as coolly as you like, eye on the ball, tucks it away, 1-0 up, 3-0. That's 1-0 up, 3rd minute of the game, I should say. That's the exact way you have to be starting these tricky away days, and it was brilliant to see the young laddie get that goal, because again, that's about as Mace Morello-esque as you're ever gonna get. And for me, he's actually a more talented player than Alfredo. Sorry for everyone I've offended. The 7th, 11th, the 14th and the 17th continually sees more attacks from Rangers. One of them, Igamane, flicks on. Czerny is then picked out, who then cuts inside, forces a good save for the goalie. We've then got another fantastic counter-attack as Raskin wins the ball high up the park, plays it to Igamane, who plays it in to Czerny, who then plays it to Bramy. Bramy's shot is then deflected just wide, and I think, right, that's nearly, and then Czerny has another shot, that is very well saved. Just, this is what we have today, because we're not good enough back there. Hibs could not settle at all. Nipping, and it was only a matter of when, not if, we were going to score the second goal. And that's not been a case for a very long time at this club. And the way we did was absolutely beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, as the ball comes out to Hadji, he then plays it to Bramy. Bramy cuts inside. Wonderful cross into the mixer, but it's all about Igamane here. And we've seen time after time, centre forward after centre forward miss. That chance is brilliantly directed in to the breadbasket, scoring not only his second goal of the game, but our first header of the actual season. Tucks it away, and I'm an absolute dreamland. Again, I felt silly for being as nervous as I was in the recap video and being as nervous as I was to everyone I spoke about. You know what I mean? A couple guys I know for doing South was talking about Mets and everything. I said, didn't he touch Rangers away from him at Easter Road after beating the Old Firm? You know what I mean? It's all spells to a wee bit of disaster, right? That was the worry that I had. But after 2-0, I was like, you know what? This is absolutely unbelievable. I'm completely wrong. But again, that switch then happens. And again, I'll continue to moan and greet about it time and time again, because I want to know whose decision that was. Because the first 20 minutes to the next 10 minutes is a completely different side, a completely different shape, and a completely different mentality. What changed? Well, what changed in terms of the flow of the game, Hibs then started getting opportunities and started using the 15-20 yards of space they were allowed to give, putting in crosses into the box. One of them comes in from Cadden, it's very well defended by Proper, but that is a worry. There's another one that comes into the mixer where Sterling does pretty much just enough, but not really convincing, because again, he can't header the ball. He's a right back after all, you know what I mean? He's no really doing it. You're putting the pressure on the nerves, starting to build, and then after Igamane has a challenge that is checked for a red card, and it's one of the ends in the modern day you can maybe say it, but for me it's no a red card. I've said that when it's happened against us or when it's happened for us, it's no a red card. But what annoys me, ladies and gentlemen, is we do not set up properly. There's a lengthy VAR check from this check from Igamane, who's actually booked in the incident. No, I don't think he is booked actually. Should have been booked, I should say. But anyway, there's a long lengthy time to set your defensive line, make sure everybody's got anything. But please go back and just watch the first screenshot of their free kick. Look who's on their most attacking aerial threat that's not named Rocky Bashiri. We have put Raskin on Lewis Miller, who I'm pretty sure I've called Lennon Miller 14 times in today's video, right? We've got Raskin on Lewis Miller. What on earth? It's not as if they took it quickly and have caught us off guard. We had so much time to set a line. That was the decision that we actually made there. I know Jeff then eventually comes over to help, but Jeff and Raskin, that's the best we can do. It's honestly shambolic. If Raskin's going to be there, he's got to block the run. Just block the run, then allow him into the box, then Jeff can clear it. You just can't let a guy run in and get a free header versus two guys that are 5'8". You know what I mean? It's so baffling. But anyway, it comes into the air. There's a bounce up in the air. We didn't deal with it again. I don't think Proper wins it. I don't think Sterling wins it. The ball's bouncing all air the place. And then Rocky Bashiri sort of brings it down. He's got time to bring it down. Hadji, Igamane sleeping at the edge of the box. It's a simple pass to Martin Boyle. And Martin Boyle does what he always seemingly does. Scores versus Rangers despite scuffing it with his left foot. Again, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. He was obviously scuffed that chance, but it's into the back of it. It's given Liam Kelly no opportunity. But again, for me, from a Rangers fan's perspective, I'm sitting looking at that saying, what on earth are we doing defensively? Do we do zero work on it? Like, we must do none. Brilliant at rondos, must do V1-2s, plenty of shooting practice. Can we just have one defensive style tactic set up and trained once a week? Just one, please. For me, you heard the likes of the Joey Bartons and all these other people say we never once defended or worked on set pieces. I truly believe that, right? I've not got any time for that laddie, but see when he comes out and says stuff like that, then I watch us time and time again, not this season, but for years, be ridiculously bad and wide open for set pieces. I have to believe it, because I can't see any defensive sense of putting Hibs' second most dangerous player in the air and giving him Jeff and Raskin to deal with. Come on, man. But again, the frustration for me is once it went to 2-1, we again then moved up We then started to snap in. We then started doing... There was a distinct change again from 2-0 to 2-1 to there to again. We were actually playing attacking football, and then we started creating chances, and Czerny had shots, Hadji had shots, Barami had shots, Igamane had shots, and I'm just sitting saying, so why did we brick our knickknacks at 2-0 then? Surely when they've got to come out and start attacking, that's favouring us, that's giving us more space, that's when we turn the screw and really go for the throat. But then we only started playing attacking football again at 2-1, but we never for the 12 previous minutes where we just sort of tried to kill the game off. It was so poorly managed today. Honestly, it makes you ill to think about. But despite our attacks and obviously looking more threatening, there was still that threat now because Hibs have then got belief. They've really identified the sniff blood with those crosses, and cross comes in. We eventually clear it. Kelly comes, gets one. You've then got Sterling clearing one, and you're thinking, right, at half time, by God, why are we our own worst enemy? And surely there's going to be something done at half time to get these boys back actually in it, and you did see it again, because just like the 10 minutes previously after making it 2-1, we started playing football the right way. Igamane nearly scores as the ball's sort of bouncing around about the 50th minute. We have a couple shots, it falls to our boy Igamane, who tries a shot from an outside of the foot shot that's brilliantly saved by the goalie, which I thought was his hat-trick, by the way. You're thinking, oh God, didn't he let it be this type of day? And unfortunately we got more evidence it was going to be that type of day, as one of our penalty checks gets cleared as Raskin gets pulled down off the ball, which may be a bit light, but again it is worth mentioning because the next couple minutes Hibs get a penalty. And I feel like this is going to be a controversial one because I see both sides of this argument all over social media. I see it all on Twitter. There's people saying it's a clear penalty, other people it isn't. Eventually, what I look at is Igamane gets the ball right, but then instead of just making the simple pass to Raskin, who's directly in front, he tries to play across the field pass to Barami, who's once again blowing out his arse. And I give that guy a lot of praise for the way he plays his versus Celtic, and I like these hard work that he puts in, but he's blowing out his arse again, and us as fans can see it time and time again. But the guy that can actually, the only guy that can make a change that isn't a PE teacher is Clement, and he just lets it play out. And Igamane and Barami are both involved in the incident that eventually leads to the penalty. And for me, both of them should have been served off 3 or 4 minutes prior, because both of them were playing absolutely rotten, and both of them started to lose their man and were just a weak link from every cross that came into the box. But it's horrific from Igamane, it's lazy or tired for Barami, but eventually gets played down after a beautiful little reverse pass in to the box. And again, this is where the controversy is, because to me when I saw it I went, oh, it's a penalty, and I was raging. I went away, I was like, that's a penalty all day. Hadji's took the lad out, and now I see what people are saying. Hadji's actually the first, and the player then kicks the back of Hadji, similar to the Ryan Kent penalty that was overturned. Was it against Hearts? I think it was against Hearts. So I know people are going to bring up that comparison and everything like that, but at the same time, it's given as a penalty. You've just got to get on with it annoyingly. We didn't seemingly get that luck. You can let me know down in the comment section below. But for me, when I first saw it, I thought it was a clear penalty. The second year I see it now, it looks very similar to the one that was overturned from Ryan Kent, who again initiated the contact. Well, surely the Hibs player initiates the contact there, but again, it's going to be one of the ends. It's a soft one at best, but you've seen them give for you, and you've seen them given against you. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, is given against you. But again, I'm not going to sit here and blame us receiving a penalty kick or conceding a penalty kick for the reason we lost this game. There's still plenty of time in it. And again, I'm still pissed off about our attitude so far in the game. Up steps Boyle, who once again scores versus Rangers. Ooh, my name's Martin Boyle and I score against Rangers all the time. Grow up! Now, I'll let my opinion be known in social media around this time that I was crying out for subs for not only the moment they made it 2-2, but the 5 minutes prior and the 5 minutes after, because Hibs nearly makes it 3-2 as Dwight Gale gets on the end of a crosses. Again, Sterling isn't sort of known for being in the air. Dwight Gale just beats some with the movement. We flick header, but thankfully it hits the chest of Liam Kelly, or it's 3-2, and I'm just sitting staring at Clement again, asking and wondering what the hell is this man actually seeing on the park, why he's no making the changes. But we've talked about his favouritism towards certain players, and I feel like Igamene's still part of his favourite crowd, because I don't know how that guy survived this game for especially the long as he did. In fact, I think he played the entire game. If not, he got subbed off pretty damn late in the game. That's how much I forgot about him towards the end, but he was rotten. No change there, no change there. I was dying out for anybody to be brought on, but we eventually go ahead and make the change about 6 or 7 minutes later. But the changes only came after a long spell of possession from Hibs, where they created several opportunities, nearly put the ball in the back of net again, not only with a couple crosses, but Miller again is left wide open from a set piece. Oh sorry, Raskin was on him. Great, lads. Brilliant. Brilliant tactical analysis done by the Rangers team there. Miller gets up in the air, wins a header, hits it down on the deck, but thankfully hits the post. It comes back to the chest. The Kelly, meaning we get away with that. And again, Clement does make the change pretty much only because Sterling's doing injured. Sterling then goes off and young Leon King comes on, who was once again linked with Newcastle. I think they made the right decision right there, because unfortunately the wee man, just is again a symptom of where we are as a club. He doesn't fit the need away for him in Scottish football. He just can't get up to header the ball. We're no physical enough, we're no nasty enough, and King's a perfect example. Like, great wee player, can do this and do that, he can slot in at CDM, he can play right back, he can play the football, but he's no that hard-nosed centre-back this club badly needs, and we see that as Hibs make it 3-3. But before, again, we get there, we need to talk about the fact that we took the lead in the game, and do you know the way we done it? Playing the ball to Czerny and playing the ball to Igamane. Our two best players by far in the team were playing attacking football and again pinning Hibs back. After a bit of a spell in and around the box, the ball eventually goes out to Czerny, pulls it back, wonderful finish for Igamane with the right foot, completing the perfect hat-trick. Amazing, and what should be a salvage rescue job from the young Moroccan king, right? That is it. He is Igamane FC. We've somehow got away with it, but again, just like our lesson we didn't learn when we went 2-0 up in the game of football, the second we took the lead again, we sit back off and try to slow the game down. And I know people can say, oh, we're just trying to manage it, that's the way football. We can't do that. We're no good enough to do that. The only way you're going to beat the opposition in Scottish football, especially away from home, is having them pinned in their own half, where they can't just beat us with crosses, can't win set pieces by flopping air and winning corner kicks. We've got to beat them in their own half and pin them. Sitting back and allowing them free opportunities to put the ball in the mix is just playing to their advantage, and it's so painful watching us make the same mistakes air and air and air again, not just in a season, in the same damn game. We watched it for 2-0 up, threw it away. We come back to 3-2 and then revert back to what didn't work previously. It's maddening to think about, but that's where we are, and that's the mentality that we've got at this club right now, trying to hang on again and slow and kill the game off in their half, have the ball in and around the box. It's the 83rd, 84th minute, get it up near there, but we're not interested in it. We're trying to pass it back to proper. King's getting on the ball, we're trying to slow the game out. It's just feeding the crowd's getting up, nervous passes, bad passes, which by the way was a summary of the day. It was a horrific game of football in terms of ability, style, performance, great in terms of pandemonium and drama, but eventually all our slack passing and that, they win another corner kick, they put the ball in the mixer, Leon King gets wore like a pair of jammies, Rocky Perseries up and he scores to make it 3-3 again, ladies and gentlemen. Now again, young Igamane tried to drag us out the shitter as we just punt a long ball up to him, and again he just goes there, wins the ball for Bashiri. Bashiri's his back's pulling him back, but he gets his shot away and it ends up hitting the post and it goes out. It would have been a great moment for Igamane and great moment as a fans, and it would have been an unjust win for the team that again tried their best to throw it away. But we never grabbed it. It was actually Hibs creating the last couple of opportunities with more set pieces, and Boyle tries a wee curler rather than maybe hitting it the way he maybe could have and burst the back in it. But we end up hanging on for dear life and get away with it. And again, we played our best football of the season until we went 2-0 up and thought the game was done and reverted back to the previous style that Clement implemented that isn't good enough to win anything in this country. So there's a hell of a lot of frustrations, a lot of annoyance, but at the same time, as if I take all that away and I look at the game with the chances created, it's free fair. Yeah, it is, and it's probably a summary where again we are as a team. We have now become the team that can shock a Celtic and can do that. Do you know what we used to slaughter the Aberdeens for? Oh, they only turn up versus Rangers, oh they could do that, and then they go and drop points the next. Oh, they beat Rangers, then they drop points. That's who we've became now as a team. We just beat Celtic, then we threw points away. We've became the tin pot duffer team that only turn up in the big moments or only care about moments. That's what we've unfortunately became, and nobody is talking about it. It's nowhere near good enough. We need so much improvements and injections of quality in this team, and from a different manager, it's frightening, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we keep pondering and slowly but surely moving on the way that they kicking the can. So for me, it says to me, we're accepting of what we've become now. We understand we're clearly second best, possibly in and amongst fighting the rest. And I hate to say that about my team, but that's what I'm getting for the team. Because where's the defensive reinforcements? We signed Fabio Silva 3 days before the one-day transfer opens last year. Where's the centre-back? Where's the loan here? Where's this? Nothing's getting done. So, yeah, everything is fine. Okay, ladies, just not for me. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. Again, the away from home form continues to be absolutely horrendous, but we are reaping what we sow. We've built the team this way. We will continue to be a weak link in these types of games, and we will continue to get the odd high followed by the low all season long, because that is where the team is. But again, shout out Czerny, who I thought was good. Defensively, no really great, but again, we're sitting here complaining about a winger's inability to defend. How about the defence? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, and Igamane, who I thought was absolutely outstanding and got us the point today, almost got us free off his own back and hard work. Certainly positives there, but more negatives than positive, and that's been the season in total. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And as always, I will see you in the next preview video. I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.